Familiar names in a familiar place in the Central Valley. Mike Benton for ThunderVision as Ryan Constant and Garet Hunt agreeing to contract terms. They are back in this area for 2012 and 13, and the guy who joins us now brought him back here in head coach Matt Thomas. And Matt, with these two players suiting up, what's this team looking like here this season, every game?
Well, I think those are two pretty big, important pieces. I think anytime you can get a guy like Garet Hunt back in the fold, it's an important thing. He does so much for our team in so many different ways, and he's a fan favorite, so the fans enjoy seeing him. And Ryan Constant's not too far behind him. He's a type of player that can bring you out of your seat either with a big goal from the blue line or a huge check in open ice. And he's a guy that plays the game the right way, the way that we like to play it, in terms of playing it hard every single night. And I think both guys are going to bring experience. They're going to bring familiarity to a lot of different things, and they're going to, more importantly, they're going to be impact guys on the ice for us. So we're excited to have them.
As you have players in this locker room, we know that many personalities can differ. These players, of course, Constant and Hunt, have seen a lot. When you talk about bringing that experience back for this season, how can they lead in different ways?
Well, I think they're both kind of unique in their own right, and I say that with maybe a little bit of a chuckle because they're certainly unique. But I think Garet, he's the type of guy, he's saying the right things before the game, he's saying the right thing in between periods and on the bench, and then he's doing the right things out on the ice. He's really matured into a player that understands when and where in terms of getting into it physically and how to keep our team on an even keel that way. I think Connie's he's a much more quieter leader than in terms of being vocal in the room. But sometimes when you're a quiet guy, when you do decide to speak up, it's kind of heard a lot more. And he's that type of guy that when he decides to turn it up a notch, people are going to follow because he's been at the level where guys want to get to, and and obviously he's been here and he understands what's expected of him from me as a coach. And I think both those guys are certainly going to be a huge part of our leadership group and a big reason for our team having success because of their experience.
You've been to the Kelly Cup playoffs 3 of the last 4 seasons in the second round. Those two players, a big part of that success. With them here, what's the bench like? What's the room like? And what's the ice like come March, April, and May?
Well, I think when you sign a guy or guys of their caliber and their experience level at this time of year, you're thinking about April. And you're thinking about May, and you're thinking about playoffs, and you're thinking about the type of guys that when it's all on the line. And we talk about you can't flip the switch, but there's a switch that can be flipped in the playoffs, and those guys managed to rise to the occasion. They've been big impact players for us in the playoffs. Garet scored some huge goals, and Connie's arguably scored the biggest goal in franchise history in triple overtime in the conference finals. And these guys, they show up, they compete, they've got a high skill level in certain areas that really just make your team that much better. And I don't think that there's too many teams in our conference that are going to be excited to have to play against both these guys this year.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Pence.
There you have it. They're back into the fold. Ryan Constant and Garet Hunt all aboard here for 2012 and 13. I'm Mike Benton for ThunderVision.